What's going on, guys? It's me, Acid, back here again, back with another Warframe guide video build. Today, as you can see, we are using the Tigris Prime. This is probably, well, contrary to what I said last video, this is actually my favourite weapon. I love this weapon. The Tigris was one of the first weapons I built, the normal Tigris, back when I was Mastery 2 or 5 or whatever it is. Then I bought the Sancti. I never bought the Sancti Tigris, that's a lie. I bought the Sancti Tigris on my other account, but when I was playing, the Tigris is what carried me through the old raids. I love this weapon. I get that some people say that they don't like it because of the trigger thing, like because you have to fire twice. No one has ever complained about that. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. But we're here. I'm going to show you my build. This is my most used weapon, so let's go for it. This is an absolute slash beast. As you can see, it's just slashing away. Probably in the number one for best shotgun in the game. Although it doesn't seem to be doing very much here, but you know, 4 shots is still no joke. And you're putting them on their arse, you're bleeding them. You have a mini crowd control there by, you know, putting everything else down. Constantly bleeds. He can probably bleed out from that. Yeah, he's going to bleed out from that, yeah. So, yeah. You know, it's a very, very cheap build. I believe mine's 1 former. It's 1 or 2 former. This doesn't have a Riven in. The build I run doesn't have a Riven in. It's a Riven disposition of 1, so it's really no point. There really is 0 point in using Rivens on this weapon. You know, I don't understand why Rivens are actually a thing for it when the bonuses are like 40%. It's not worth it at all. But let's try them with the old pox. Gonna deal some damage over time. I will be honest with you, I thought that would do more damage. That's better. Yes. When they actually proc, it's nutty. So as you can see, this guy here, no armor, 1 shot. No armor, 1 shot. Yeah. So, you know, again, these are level 150 heavy gunners. This is no messing. I'm not even spawning in the lancers. It will 1-shot them. There's no... It's gonna 1-shot them. If it's not going to 1-shot them, it's going to 2-shot them. So let's completely strip you of your armor, boys and girls, and whatever you are. Hello, goodbye. Let's see if you bleed out from that. Or am I actually going to have to shoot you again? I think we look like an idiot. Dickhead. Right. No armor. Doesn't 1-shot. That is interesting. Yeah, that will eventually make him bleed out, but we're not going to sit here and... We're going to kill you all. So, you know, the bleeds aren't very much. I will be honest, I can't remember what build I'm actually running on this. But, you know, it's still no joke. But it was definitely better with a pox. So I definitely run this with a pox if you're going to do super late game stuff. But one thing you also shouldn't sleep on is the range of this. Like, if you're in an Orokin avoid corridor, it will reach the other end of that corridor. It will 1-shot level up to level 100 normal adds, just, you know, straight away. As you can see. It's definitely nowhere near as good. But, you know, if you're down the end of a corridor, you know, that's still crazy good range for a shotgun. As you can see, it's still doing its job. So it's, yeah, it's pretty decent. So if you hit them in the face, they are going to sleep. So yeah, that is that. And now we are going to use you with Mirage, just so you can see the max potential. I feel like Mirage isn't a slept-on frame because she doesn't do much ability-wise, and people don't understand that she makes every weapon in this game viable. If you have a Mirage on your team, like, yeah, one shot, or 2 shots, you know, that does half damage on 1 shot, and he's going to bleed out from that. So 1 shot will kill them if you're prepared to sit there and wait for them to bleed out. You know, providing you hit a headshot, they will bleed out from that with Mirage. So, you know, again, it's nothing to sleep on, this weapon. This is a weapon I don't see very much of, and I'm assuming it's because people don't like having to reload so much, which is a bit of a shit excuse, to be honest, in my opinion. Again, this is my build, it's my opinion, you don't have to like it. I literally could not care less. You play the game how you want to play it, but yes, this is, if you actually hit the target, going to 1 shot. I mean, the Pox does all the damage anyway, it's crazy. But as you can see, you've been corrosived, 1 shot. Absolutely easy mode, boys and girls. Easy mode. So yeah, if you haven't built the Tigris yet, or you know you're looking for a weapon to go on your endgame runs with, maybe the Tigris is the one for you. As you can see, it's one-shotting these 150s with Mirage. That's with Mirage. You know, it did it 2-shot without? I can't remember. But again, not a weapon to sleep on if you're playing late game stuff. Just to boot with that. So this is a 2-former build, as you can see there. Maybe a 3. But my primed point blank isn't even maxed. You know. So we are point blank, primed point blank or point blank, it doesn't really matter. Sweep Incineration for Slash, that's a Barrow mod. Don't know how much that's going to go for in the trade chat. I couldn't tell you. I bought this when it was out by Barrow. I can't remember how much the resources are from there, but that's something that you need. I don't think the normal Slash mod will do the, you know, 30%. It's a lot different to 120. Hell's Chamber for multi-shot, Shell Shock, and Toxic Barrage, and Scattering Inferno, and Frigid Blast. All of the status mods, and Charge Shell for bonus corrosive damage. So if we come over here to the whatever this is called, you got 9.1 accuracy. Doesn't make a difference. Accuracy is an irrelevant stat with the Tigris, I believe. You will hit where you shoot, so that's irrelevant to me. 10% crit chance. It's a status build, so crit chance doesn't really bother me. 2 times multiplier. Again, crit isn't really what you go for on it, hence why there is no crit mods on here. You could probably use a crit build on it. That might make it, you know, a different weapon. I don't know. I don't use a crit build. 10 to 20 meter drop off. I don't know if that's meters or feet. I don't know why that one goes off. 2 fire rate because you've got obviously the 2 triggers. The magazine of 2. A 1 riven disposition, and that's what, because this weapon is so powerful. When you get really god tier mods like this, the stats on them are terrible. I can't remember how much I spent on this. It wasn't much, that's why I bought it. But 47% multi-shot, 37% crit chance, and 66% damage. It's really not worth it. Considering, you know, you've got 135% damage. I mean, you're having, you know, there's half the damage there, and 120 multi-shot compared to 50%. Really not gonna advise you guys to waste your platinum on mods like this when you can buy mods for things like the Tsar and things like that are actually weapon changing. You know, mods like that really do change weapons, but this one, For the Tigris, not really. If you can find one with bonus status, so maybe you find one with, I don't know, multi-shot, status chance, and heat maybe. Yeah, I'd say pick it up. But if it's a mod like that, I'd say skip on that and go buy a mod for something else. 800 impact, 800 puncture, and 14,000 slash. Slash is the one you want. Obviously, that's the one that makes him bleed. You can probably get a bleed build on here. I'm not going to try now. Like I say, that's not the build I run. This is the build I run. And then 9,000 blast and 16,928 corrosive. So I run a corrosive build on this. You could probably make a slash bleed hunter munitions build work for it. I don't see why you couldn't with slash numbers like that, which can obviously be brought up to stupid amounts with, yeah, how much is that going to bring it up to? 16,000 slash. So, you know, the builds really are endless with this. Well, they're not, there's two, but it sounded cooler when I said that. That sounded so much cooler in my head. But yeah, I don't know if a crit build would work for this. I can't comment. Like I said, this is the build I run, and because this build works for me, this is the build I run. But it's been through level 100 survivals. It's lasted me an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a very, very solid weapon. The duplex trigger thing isn't an issue at all. Same thing with the Tsar. The more you use it, you get used to it. And I can prove to you guys for 1 second. Not that you would disbelieve me or whatever, but go over to my profile here. You will see, if I go to equipment, my most used weapon is the Tigris. Nearly 30,000 kills, nearly a 15% use time, so much XP gained with this. It's an insane weapon, and yeah, it's definitely not one to sleep on. So if you're very new to the game, I'd recommend you try and pick up the normal Tigris. That will carry you through some of your early game. You know, like I said, that carried me through the raid. I still remember that. The Law of Retribution. The normal Tigris carried me through that. It's definitely not a weapon to sleep on at all. But yeah guys, there you go. That has been my Tigris Prime build. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have maybe found inspiration for a build you want to run, or maybe, you know, you want to compare your builds to mine. You might let me know that, hey, this works better than that, that works better than this. I'm up for that. I'm not saying it's the best build in the game. I'm saying it's the build that's worked for me. If you guys want to let me know what you use and something that's better, that's completely fine. I'm not here to argue and debate what's good and bad. I'm telling you what I use and what works for me. So again, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what's going on down below, and I will see you in the next one.